Hello, everybody. How are you? Hi, Nancy. Thank you to my sisters, Mona and Deb, for supporting me. Hey, Joe, how are you doing today? Oh, I was trying so hard not to fall asleep back here as I waited to go live. Hope you all had a good day. It's going to be a little different not having Deb or Mona to talk to or anybody in the panel. So, we are going to start our Build a Quilt series that we've been talking about for a little while. And the first thing I want to know from any of you is, have you had a chance to read the book? And I'm just going to wait for that chat to catch up. For those that might be watching the replay, I am Lisa, Awkward Quilter GA, and this is the first of our series that's going to run about 8 weeks on building and creating your own quilt. We will be using the Quick and Easy Block Tool Book. Hey, Don, how are you? Book. Have you had a chance? Hi, June. How are you? Um, have you had a chance to look through it? So, unfortunately, as of 30 minutes ago, I have still not received an email giving me permission to share the cutting directions. So we're going to do it the best that we can until I receive that. And I am going to make a disclosure that the creator of the book is, and all rights are reserved, are Liz Analowski, Candy Peterson, and Debbie Rogers. And the publishing is C&T Publishing. And I want to say that because I want to cover all my bases. Hello, Denise. Thanks for joining. So there were, hey Zaza, how are you doing? Um, Hi Denise, how are you doing? So we are utilizing the book. I think I put the link if you want to purchase the book. You by no means have to. You have a lot of patterns. There are a lot of places on the website that you can go and find block patterns. We're just going to be creating our own quilt. And Mona requested that I share how to read the book. Now, I am going to say that if you are a beginner quilter, that you do need to know the basics of quilting. So you need to know your quarter-inch seam. You do need to know that you need to set your, excuse me, you need to set your stitch length down to 2.0 or 1.8. You do want smaller stitches when you're quilting, and how to cut fabric. Hi, Sewing on the Bluff, what is your name? I am so sorry. I'm really, really bad with names. Denise, you would like the book, please? Mona or Deb, if you can throw the link out in the chat somewhere. It is in the description. I also have some videos that, and it's in my community, the book link. Hi, Jessica. I'm so sorry for not remembering that. I'm glad you were able to join me. So anyway, and I've had a little tough day. Actually, I ate ribs, so I'm tired and I'm trying to stay awake because I've been awake since 3 a.m. this morning. And so anyway, what I do want to do, and I am going to share, excuse me, if you look on page 4 of your book, if you have page 4, it will tell you how to utilize the guide and how to read it. And I am going to share this, and it does have some interesting things. And I think I should block this. I'm just going to block that cutting instructions on there. just to kind of protect us. And I'm going to do my best to read the chat while I read through this. You have to in the soy. I have been so excited. Brenda Foley, I believe it was, and Deb can correct me if I'm wrong, but Deb, Brenda Foley mentioned this book on my Sundays at 7, my Sunday morning lives when Deb and I were on, and she mentioned this book. We went ahead and grabbed the book, and I have really, really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. I did make a block from here. I think it was 2 weeks ago and made an entire quilt with one block. So the cutting instructions is they're accurate. It's accurate cutting instructions. You will have to be able to find those in between sizes. Hey, Jess, how are you? The in between sizes and get comfortable with that. Some people like to cut up and then square down. It's all up to you. It's the way you enjoy quilting. This is supposed to be non stressful. If you watched my introduction video, I am going to be working on a fall table topper and doing some blocks. I do have a Discord channel set up for this this sew along or this build a quilt series. And if you would like to be a part of that Discord so you can ask questions and we can actually probably share cutting instructions a little bit more and I can help you along, just email me and I'll get you in that Discord group. Now, Mona, the cutting instructions are very simple. If you look at the book on page 4, and I hope you can see that. Let me go ahead and switch this so it's the book, if I can get it to work. Okay, that might be a little better. Can y'all see that all right? So on page 4, it does give you your cutting instructions. It will label the block for you. It will tell you what the block is, if it's A, B, C. It will give you the quantity that you need, and it's gray tones and colors. So you're choosing your fabric, whatever fabric you want to use. And then right here, which is very important, that third column, it will tell you how many you're going to need and what you're going to do with it. So if you look on page 4, if you're in column 3, row 2, it tells you that you will need 5 triangles. Now, this is going to be a little bit different because we are not going to be doing half square triangles. One of the things it's just one block. Hey, Terry, how are you? It is just one block that you're cutting, and you're going to be cutting on the diagonal. Hey, Andrea. So, Andrea, since you're in the chat, I did read your comment, and I saw that you were going to do was it a quilt to ballard quilt? Let me look really quick. That you were going to be working on various quilts, but you're making a quilt into a lap, and you this was a little small. So, Andrea, I have your email, and if you want to be in that Discord group, I will email you the Discord link. I am not going to put it in the chat. I'm not going, it's by invitation only, and that's only because I don't want that Discord channel information out there and Jose come and visit us. We don't want any Jose in our Discord group. Mona, what you snacking on? I had ribs and potato salad. I was so good. Yeah, and then I can help read it to you and we can go over it and Yeah, that's right, Jose. No, Jose. Hey, Donnell, how are you doing, little sis? So I have decided on my first block because I'm making a hi Joyce, how are you? Because I'm making an autumn block, I am going to start and let me switch this back over again so you can see. I am going to start from the center out. And I had said that I wasn't going to do anything bigger than a 6-inch block, but for my center block, I'm actually going to do an 8-inch block because I want my house to be a little bigger. Hey, Mike, how are you? So I am going to be working on the house. Now you can do anything you want. This is just supposed to be a very relaxing so long. If you have a project and you just want to sew that while we're talking and chatting, the series will be about 8 weeks, like I said, and it will last maybe an hour, a little over, but so that's what we're going to do. And I am going to work on the house block. I am not going to do too much sewing. I mean, I will sew the block together while I'm on the live, but this is an opportunity for you to ask questions. And then once I make the house block, then you can help me out and determine what we're going to do from that. Now, I did have some fall colors, and this house block. And I really hate that I cannot show you sizes, but if you have the book, Mike, I know you have the book. It is on page 60 and it is block 48. Page 60, block 48. Because it comes in 5 different sizes, I actually blocked off the sizes that I did not need so I could just concentrate on the cutting. The cutting is really, really easy. Um, You do have to be a little careful, and it is small. These blocks are small, or the cutting is a little on the tiny side. I like big blocks. So, and I'm going to be very honest. I threw it on my EQ8 about an hour ago. I threw it on my EQ8. I wanted to see what the difference was, and there is no difference from my EQ8. Um, there was no difference. I think some blocks was maybe a quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch difference, and then they had to trim it down. You can make the house block or you can pick your own, Mona. So this is something that is just for you. I know you said that you might work on a baby quilt. So you can pick any block, any size. This is not a so long, so long. It is just getting together and creating something that's your own, that is not mine, that is not from a pattern. This is just really, really pulling out your scraps and free sewing and having a finished product that does not look like anybody else's because it's yours. Um, so on the introduction video, I had said that you just need to determine who you're going to give it to. Hey, Judy, how are you? And if I miss somebody in the chat, I'm really, really sorry. Actually, I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of tired. And if you hear me snoring, just yell really, really loud for to wake me up. So I did block that. And what I would like to know, what I would like to know is anybody sewing along with this, have you decided what your block is? Jessica mentioned in the comment that she likes to make blocks and then just put them together, mush them together. And that's exciting. My brain doesn't work that way. I have to have some kind of a plan. And I always like to work on the center out. everything I do is the center out. Even when I clean house, I start in the middle of the house and then I clean out. Um, so it's s- your style of quilting, and hopefully I will get less nervous while I'm doing this. So, anyway, if you want to follow along, hey Loretta, how are you? If you want to follow along, again, I'm on page 60 on the house block, which is number 48. Again, pick whatever block you want. If you just want to chat amongst yourselves, that's fine. This block says that I need two A blocks, and I can't give you the sizes, but it is going to be my background fabric. And I'm just going to switch my camera, get that out of my way, push that out of the way as best I can. I've got some, just some fabric here, and you might be able to guess. So I need two of these. And it's so small that I can use my little 8.5 inch, where's my, and y'all, I'm just going to mess this up because I'm on camera and it's late. And I'm trying to be a little frugal with my fabric as well. I'm not going to cut big O strips that I do not need because I do not know, excuse me, what blocks I'm going to make after this. I have no clue. And I'm hoping somebody decides. I'm thinking that I would like to make 4-inch blocks after this to go around it. So I have two of those. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the other light one, which is a square. And I just need one that is 7/8. And I know it does not help that I cannot tell you the sizes. I'm really hoping that they go ahead and give me permission to share the sizes because I'm not making money off of this and I am not publishing in a book. I am actually just working with everybody to, hey, yo, Patty. Oh, are y'all giving me a hard time? Y'all, be nice to me, be sweet, be kind. Just love me. Okay, so I got that. And then my block B is going to be my chimney, my roof, and my door. So I have I'm using this wonderful brown. And if y'all just was in here, I don't know if she's still in here because I'm not watching the chat. I'm ignoring my sisters over there. Um, she did a beautiful quilt that was all in browns and autumn colors, and it was beautiful. So my B, I just need one, and yeah. And I do have my iron on, but I will more than likely just finger press this block because it's so small. And I'm not labeling it because it's pretty easy. Now, let me do H. H is 1. And if the sizes come out while I'm talking, I'm sorry. So if you watch real closely, make sure, let me just double check my cutting for H. If you watch real closely, you might even be able to tell what the sizes are. And I also do not generally cut my fabric while I'm sitting down. It's just I don't want you to see all this wonderful goodness in the camera if I stand up. I don't want to scare you all. And okay, so now for E, where we would actually do a flip and stitch, or in some, again, on page 6048, and I'm looking at E, where in most patterns it would call for a, you would do a stitch and flip and a half square triangle. This one, they're actually asking you to, you are going to have to cut on the 45 for E. So E has to be 2.5. And that was my roof again. So we're going to be cutting on the 45. Y'all hope I make it. And this is, and as Donna would say, that's dead air, but I just want to make sure I have that 1/4 inch on there. Yeah, I'm looking at all this. There are so many free patterns out there. You can go to the creators, or you can go to Riley Blake, Moda, um, some of the other vendors. They have a lot of free things. Okay, so let me go ahead, and I am going to, okay, I'm going to cut on the 45 for this. And I'm just making sure I get it right because I don't want to have to cut it again. And if you're looking for the 45 on your, Mona, what's your question? So, wait, Donnell was washing her wine glass for a glass with dinner. Um, Deb, what was Mona? Mona, what's your question? Why don't you just email me, text me? No, what's your question? Mona, Mona. So I'm cutting on the 45. Do y'all know where your 45 is on your ruler? Do y'all know how to cut a 45? Mona, I don't see. Mona, what's your question? I'm looking. I'm looking. So there's my 45, and it is for my roof. Um, you'll bug me. I have meetings all day tomorrow. Mona! Mona! Okay, so I've got my roof done. I do need a J, which is going to be for my beautiful little window. Oh, you know what? I forgot to. What did I cut? I need an A, or I got my A's. I got my C cut in half. So I needed my J, which is going to be this wonderful yellow for the window. Excuse me. And J, and there's not very many things that are square on this house. So is anybody going to make the house? And it would help if I watched the chat, ask you a question, and at least look at the chat to see what you're doing. Donna, I don't know how you do this. I do not know how you cut. So watch the chat, talk to yourself. I know, Jess, somebody needs to come up and field questions for me. Does somebody want to come up? I'll put the link in the and you can ask questions. Let me just get the link, and that might actually work better. But y'all don't jump in at once. Hey Candace, I do not talk to myself, and that is one of the things is that some people are really, really good at doing videos because they're used to talking to themselves, and I don't. And the reason for that is because of the type of work that I do, that it is actually a HIPAA violation if I say the wrong thing in the presence of the wrong people, and it could be very embarrassing for both them and myself. So now I'm cutting the body of the house, and for again, a lot of tiny pieces. And what I'm hoping to do is throughout the course of the series, once we get comfortable and I know where you're all at, do leave a comment if I missed something. Everybody in the chat that's here, y'all are really good with each other and helping each other out. And you guys are just really, really good. And I don't think people really believe that I sew because um, they don't see me sewing very much. I generally just kind of sit up here and chat and talk. And it's like, poof, there's a quilt behind me, and I really don't make them. I just buy them and pretend I make them. So let's see. I am on the, I don't understand this one, but we'll see what it does. Hey, my sister! Did you come to did you come to save your floundering
I sure did.
you are so sweet. You are so sweet. Okay, so you can answer watch the chat for me and ask any questions while I'm cutting this up, because I do not have Mona's or Donnell's gift for Gab and sewing and doing everything at once. This one actually tells me this block here, which is block, make sure I'm cutting the right thing. Block D, it says that I need to cut this
What do you
into.
got? God dang it.
Oh, are you swearing? Are
I
you
didn't say
swearing?
that. I said dang it.
It would have been okay. Donna, you're still there? Debbie, how are you? Debbie. And I promise, if I need 3. So I'm still cutting fabric. Is anybody sewing? Deb, what are they saying about me in the chat? What ugly things are they saying?
Debbie came in.
I said hi to Deb.
Donnell
Debbie.
says she's still here.
Debbie's still here. I mean, Donnell's still here.
Mona says there's a chart key at the beginning of book on page 4.
Yes.
I said I thought Mona was coming up to help you.
Well,
well, hi, Joe. I probably said hi to her already. I don't remember.
you probably did.
They said you look sexy in your apron.
You know what? If you were on, what was it, our live, when my husband called me, told me that I was really looking like a grandma now.
Hi, Joyce.
Hey, you want to come and tell everybody hi? Can you close the door on the way out?
They said you should use your pointer and be Mary Poppins.
Oh, excuse me.
Terry is cutting 240 2.5-inch squares for a quilt top that she's making over again.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And why? Oh, man. Make another one of these. 2 and 4.5. You didn't hear me say that.
Denise says she loves the pumpkin color fabric.
Do you? I love fall. Fall is, I'm having to cut this again because I didn't
Hi,
pay attention
Joyce.
to the instructions.
Playing it, Lynn?
So is anybody going to make the block? This is what I want to know. Is anybody going to make the house? Is anybody going to sew with me? This is things I need to know.
I'm going to make the house sometime. I don't know if it's going to be first.
You know, I made a house. I made 2 quilts that were for charity, and I talked about it a long time ago. I think I talked about it on Sean's when I did Sean's Christmas special, and I made 2 quilts for these little girls that their mother works with my husband, and she adopted them. They're her grandchildren, and she was adopting them from a not so happy situation. And when I made the quilt, I always said that if I make a quilt, another quilt for myself, it would have a house in it. Because I can.
Lisa, Nancy says to tell you she used her gift card to get this book, and she used your link. It will be here Friday.
Oh, well, that's great, and you can watch back. And again, if for anybody that it was late coming in, wasn't watching, I did set up a Discord channel. I am not publishing the link to be part of the Discord channel, and we can go over. Um, I have not received permission to give out the cutting instructions, and I really want to do that, but I'm also very respectful for the people who put the time and effort into creating the book. So I'm being very respectful of their copyright laws and or rules, and it's a very strict copyright. So I'm not giving out the cutting instructions, but we can get into the Discord channel. You just have to email me and I will give you the Discord link for the channel and we can discuss it. We can build it together. I can answer any questions. I think Andrea said, and we spoke about this earlier, Andrea said the print was a little small. So I'm more than happy to read out the instructions, the cutting instructions, because Andrea does wonderful work and we want her to be able to sew along. So anything I can do to help, that will not be a problem. And so, and now I'm on G.
Denise Sopatch says she will sew once she locates the book.
When
She'll
she
give the
locates
house,
the book.
she says, I will give the house the college try.
And we talk about this all the time on Sundays. If you I know so many of you sleep in and you're not able to join Deb and myself and Azaz and everybody else that's in chat. Um, but we talk about this all the time, and I have been working really hard to get my husband to give up the living room and just give it over to me. And I've not yet been successful, but I'm working at it. And we are going to be married 33 years next month. We've been together a little longer than that, but we'll be married 33 years next month. And I told him that would be a nice gift. It wouldn't cost him anything. He would just have to shove his stuff in this little room.
Mike says, Lisa, I would like an interpretive dance reenactment of the house block.
You can get on the Discord channel for that. I'll even put my little moo moo on while I do it. See if I can come up with a hula dance for it. Oh, that would be so funny. Y'all don't need to see me moving around. That would be sick. You would always say, you would all say something about, oh, did you get your medic alert bracelet? Oh, I'm stuck. My back is out of joint. But I appreciate y'all just kind of hanging out with me. It is a learning experience for this is a learning experience. I am, and I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but I have not been quilting all that long. And sometimes I get embarrassed about sharing anything I know or my quilting skills because I know somebody out there is just going to say, why are you doing it that way? And I'm like most of you. I've learned from reading books, from watching YouTube, and doing the best I can, asking a lot of questions. Um, Asking a lot of questions. So I get a little bit nervous when people actually see me cutting and sewing. And let's see, I think I am almost ready. I've got just the eye block. Again, I'm working on page 60 and it is the house block. And I need to,
He
why are,
says, he says, no, Lisa, that is why I do watch you.
why? Because I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just do they say? Fake it till you make it. and my mind doesn't think. like a lot of people. Sometimes I watch some other creators, some other YouTubers, and they're not they're not big channels. Some of them. Jess, I'm saving my scraps. Just to let you know, I am saving my scraps. Um, not throwing any scraps away. So, what was I saying? 1 3/4. Two. So yeah, sometimes I watch some other YouTube people and I watch how they just do things and it just amazes me. And I'm thinking, how come I can't do it that way? It's kind of like when I watch Mona or somebody do a bag and do one of them stinking zippers that seem to elude me. Just making those zippers. All right.
That
Thanks.
wasn't me.
Uh, who's calling me? Who's calling me? It's probably Mona blowing up my Discord right now. Blowing up my chat. When I get off, she's going to say, Lisa, why don't you talk anymore? Why don't you talk more? So I
She,
am going to lay this out. So we have B, A, and again, I did not label because this block is actually not that bad. If, oh, wrong one. B, my roof, my thing, my roof, and I need my.
Mona says she doesn't criticize, she supports.
No, I love Mona even if she criticizes me. So
Or she goofs off. Ah, that's
that's
what
all.
her and I do mostly.
That's awful big. Why is that so big? Um, wait. It's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle. Okay, there we go. And so I'm actually laying out my blocks right now to make it easier for me to sew. And it is one,
I know you do, Judy.
one, two. And if you like puzzles, this is a puzzle. Puzzle, puzzle. That's gonna go red.
Candace says, don't compare yourself to others. You'll get better the more you do it.
Um, you know, I'll take your word for it. I think I scrapped my little yellow block. So why is I guess oh okay. Okay. So it goes. That doesn't go there. It goes.
Now you understand why I haven't done a live.
Huh?
Now you
Well,
understand I haven't done a live.
I do and I don't. I do and I don't. Because I think you would do excellent at it.
Stephanie Stitches is here. Quilting with Stephanie Stitches.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. We're all here to watch Miss Lisa. They made me cut too many blocks, or I was talking and I just cut too many pieces of fabric. So that's all it is. So we have that, that, that. Let me push it out. Are there
They
any
said they said
questions?
there's a little yellow one at the top of your mat.
This little yellow, what this actually goes here, but it's not quite. Yeah, that goes there.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
gonna
you
go
only got one window.
Oh, yeah, just one window. H and
I think
I
you thought you were
M.
doing two windows.
Hmm.
I thought you were doing two windows.
No, it just has one window. Kind of, I don't know. They know, so it's the perfect house for me because I'm an introvert and I like being at home. So let me go ahead and switch this out.
Judy, you just never know when I'm going to do it. I'll have to
Hmm.
surprise y'all.
Yeah, where I'm waiting, I keep trying to talk Deb into doing a live. I keep trying to talk Deb into doing a live, and I think the more I tell her to do a live, the more hard head she gets, and she won't do it.
Oh no, Mona's been trying to get me to too.
And so I'm
Melanie
so
Taylor's here. Melanie Taylor.
and one of the things I like to sew all the easy blocks first together, or the easy pieces together, and then glue with the harder pieces together last.
I do the middle first.
Do you? And I actually do make a lot of quilts without patterns. It's one of my absolutely favorite things to do is just finding some blocks. And so when I watch YouTube personalities who share blocks, so with Debbie makes really nice blocks, and then Brenda with Mount Scrapmore. And I'm just going to finger press this here. Whenever they do a block, I always make sure to comment if I'm going to use their block in something.
So Terry says you don't have to do things like another person does it. There are many pro quilters and they all have their own style. Chew on that. LOL.
Well, that is coming from the very, very professional um, featherweight and other type of machine repair person who does such a wonderful job. She hides her sewing machine so she does not have to part with them and sell it to me. She hides them in the floorboards. Nobody knows it. So yeah, it's all that. And I do a lot of finger pressing. I also do not starch very heavily because if I'm a little short, I like to work with the fabric. And and again, I have not been quilting, so don't judge. I have not been quilting a long time. And if you judge my style, I may have learned it from you. So you never know. You never
Terry
know.
says, Terry says, yes, yes. You should see my floors.
Well, Mike knows where you live, Terry, because we've had this conversation about y'all being able to yell out your doors and see each other
Yep.
or hear each other. So we know this. We
I
know
want to
this.
go see Mike's attic.
Now, Deb, you and I are also pinners.
Yes. I pin
And
everything.
generally, I pin. One of the things I said about this quilt that I'm building, because it's for fun, and if it's not perfect, that is fine,
Yep.
is that I'm just going to enjoy this process. If I mess up, nobody's going to see it. And I do, one of my favorite things, as you know, is I like to free motion quilt on my machine. So there
Yeah.
is nothing that thread cannot hide. you can embroider something on your sewing machine and it will hide all those flaws.
And she tried really, really hard to teach me how to do it.
You did well. You made your name.
I made my name. Yeah.
Yes.
Woo!
And Zaza did well. Of course, I think Zaza knows more than she let on, but Zaza did really well. But yeah, you made your name and it was legible. You could see it. So you did well. I will
Mona
say
says Mona says that Mike could be making a skin scarecrow up there.
a what?
A scarecrow up there in his attic.
Oh yeah, and he's now moved on to the bottom portion of his house or the house below him.
Terry says, I don't even pin my blouse. I have a wonder clip on my body right now. No pins.
Just makes things a little easier at night. That's all I can say.
Oh.
That is too funny. Did
Hey,
anybody? Did
I
anybody?
tried doing it without pins. It's a mess. And I have to unpick and bring Jack out. So it's just easier if I pin it.
Did anybody say if they knew how to find their 45 on their
On the ruler,
ruler? Mhm.
it says
You know,
45.
yeah, some people are very scared. They get nervous about cutting a 45
It says
angle.
it says 45 right there.
Hmm. But some people get scared, much like I think when I was working on my hobo bag, when I was working on my hobo bag, I had
Debbie says
nightmare.
that she's a
I
pinner.
Huh?
Debbie says she's a pinner.
Yeah, I like
Stephanie
to
says
pin.
she's not.
I would believe that Stephanie's not because she's very talented, and when you watch her sew, and there's some people that I go and watch, and I just do not comment very much because there's so much action going on in the comment section. But like Stephanie, they're so professional at it, and they don't need to pin. It's those seams that get me when I am trying to do the seams. That is
I
not
think
my
they've been doing it a lot longer than us too.
yeah. So I didn't. All
I
right.
think
So
I didn't get serious about it until 2 years ago.
Jack is coming out, huh? About pinning. There's some quilts.
Got
There's some.
quilting.
Uh, and if I wasn't on a live, you would see me rip this fabric.
Mike says no pins for the win.
Yeah, Mike.
Joyce says that's why they're called wonder clips. They do wonderful things.
Hey, Mike, did you ever learn? Did you ever figure out how to do that circle thingy, my Bob? That from that so steady. Did you ever look? I haven't used mine yet.
Joyce is a pinner. Debbie's a pinner. Joe is a pinner. Mona, when she needs to.
Okay. I need
Mike
to.
says, yes, Lisa, I can help you.
You can help me. Did you figure it out then? I haven't even done it yet.
He said yes.
Is anybody even sewing with me? Am I just here like
Katie
talking?
Crafts is a pinner. Well, no, you're all on your own because we didn't know what you were doing.
Listen, if you all had watched my introductory video
And I
that
did.
said you were doing your own thing, that's fine. Now, if you want to follow me, I can have a schedule. If you want to follow me, I can do a schedule. But it wasn't supposed to be that kind of a show. You know what I'm saying?
I was waiting to see what you were going to do.
I am making this house, and this this one block that they had me cut so big is actually too big. So I am improvising. However, I am thinking after this block gets done, again, this is for my personal use, so I can do whatever I want, like you can do whatever you want. But I'm thinking about putting 4-inch hearts around it because home is my favorite place. And especially when the kids and the families around, my husband's around, it's my favorite place and it's full with love. And that's what the holidays and autumn feels like to me.
Yep. Yep.
Home.
I
So
said, yep.
I'm thinking about doing 4-inch hearts. This is an 8-inch block. And I think I
Pam
just
is sick with COVID.
who?
Pam is sick with COVID. Craft on and so forth.
Oh no. Didn't her husband have COVID? Didn't
I don't
he?
remember. Debbie Horton is here too, and she likes to use
Uh,
pins.
I'm really not trying to ignore y'all. So
Melanie
y'all tell me, do you want to do you all want to just follow along? The whole purpose was to learn how to use your book, and if you want to follow along, I can make a plan and tell you what the next block is going to be, or what my intentions of the next block is going to be.
Guess who Nancy says? I use pins and clips and fingers and a lot of praying.
Yeah, a lot of praying. Now, how did that happen?
Terry says I made all the dresses without pinning. Waste of my time. Just kidding, just kidding. I use clips.
Mike, your phone was so because talking, I cut house block short, which is why my triangles were not fitting. So thankfully, I have an extra triangle. Throw that on the side. I'm not throwing it away, Joe. Not throwing it away. So I'm gonna have to do the little roof again. Thankfully, I have lots of scraps, and I'm going to save this. It is.
Pam says her husband has it now. Last one in the house of 4.
Yeah, I was thinking that he had it. Okay, y'all, don't talk so loud in the chat so I can cut this right this time. Don't be talking so loud.
Oh my goodness. I got tears.
Because I do not know how I thought 1.5 was a 2.5. And you don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know what and I could not make them I could not make that stinking triangle. Um no. So
Mona says she likes to smash pumpkins.
now make sure I got that right this time around. And I've got my blade closed. I'm not just flinging it around wildly. I
I'm
can't.
so glad she's not paying attention to me.
Mama's not paying attention to you.
No, you're not paying attention to me.
Why? What are you doing? Are you being ugly to me? Don't
No,
be
I'm
ugly
not.
to me.
No, I would never do that.
Don't be ugly to me. I might cry. Not really, but I might cry. Okay, so I need to make the stinking um block, cut the stinking block again. So I'm just gonna.
Joe says, Lisa, the scraps are creeping up on you.
Oh, Joe, you don't know what scraps are like. I've got, I did easy broken block, and I have triangles from that. I mean, like a gazillion triangles from that.
Yeah, I'm sewing up triangles too that are left over.
But I think what I'm going to do, because I really don't, shh, don't tell anybody. I really don't like to sew those little scraps together. It's not my favorite thing to do. So I think I am going to just like I did that bag, I think I'm just going to quilt all those triangles into a quilt and just have it going in all different directions and just free motion quilting that. I still don't understand why that block right there, they made me cut it so much bigger than everything else. So I'm going to try this again, make sure that's right, this is right, and that is correct.
Jess says it's like an elementary school lunchroom, so noisy. Mike says the stinking block. Lisa sews like me.
Do I like I kind of just get fabric, throw it together, and just sew. And just sew it. There are times when I am very precise. I did a Lori Holt quilt, one of her with the Sunbonnet Sue, and I did that wrong again. It's because you all so much pressure, so much pressure,
Oh, there ain't no pressure.
so much pressure.
We're just entertaining ourselves.
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
Zaza says it's past her bedtime tonight.
Who, my bedtime?
No, hers.
I'll tell you what, it was past my bedtime an hour ago. Okay, so let me.
Oh, it's 2 a.m. there.
Oh, it is late, Zaza. I was thinking, Zaza, about our trivia game that we played. And I was thinking, you're really, really smart. And one day I'm going to grow up to be smart like you.
Good night, Debbie.
Is Debbie leaving me?
Yep. She says the tech
What?
is here to set her up for tomorrow.
Oh, her daughter. Well, y'all, I think I need to. What is going on with this? Mona, I need you to come and sew this for me. Mona. All right, we'll put that one aside for now and put this one on. And maybe it will all make sense in the morning. Because if not, I'm gonna pretend that a hurricane just came by and blew my house off, my roof off. It's gonna
Oh
be
yeah, Debbie's
it's,
having a sleep test done tonight, so they got to
oh
get her all wired up.
oh, she's doing one for that sleep apnea. Or my husband did that. He had that done because I swore that he had sleep apnea. And he did not. He was just a heavy snorer. But they did end up finding that he had a lot of acid reflux that was causing a lot of problems when he slept. So he had that going on, the poor baby. He had that going on. And let me see if I'm going to get this right.
Mona says your house is experiencing a hurricane.
I know that roof, that roof. Mm.
She's in the land of Oz.
This is probably where pinning would come in handy.
Zaza says, snap, Lisa. Her husband wakes himself up snoring.
You know, I never used to snore. I snore. Well, so my husband must be lying to me because I don't think like poof one day you just snore, right? I think that well, this is gonna be as good as it gets. I'm gonna do a Mona here and say, "The hell with it and make it work." So
Mona
um
says, just sew the roof on and cut off the excess.
that's what I'm doing right now, Mona. I was just thinking of you. But my husband used to say that I purred, and I believe he lied to me. He lied to me. So my whole intention after I make this block anyway is that I am going to probably put a 1 inch border around it to just have a nice spot for a nice landing spot for the thing. And I'm going to be doing some stretching here. What was this supposed to be? I'm going to be doing some heavy stretching here of this fabric to get it on. What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's so late.
9:08 your time.
Hmm. All
9:08
right.
your
So
time.
I'm gonna have to do so while y'all Deb, take a poll. What do they want to do a sew along and me plan out the blocks, or do they prefer to just decide what they're going to do and just be here for the somewhat entertaining aspect of the show?
Do you want Lisa to pick the blocks and then we'll sew with her? Or do you want to pick your own and just have a good time here on Monday nights? Hi, Shirley.
Hmm.
Shirley from Around Two It is here.
Hey Shirley, how are you? Shirley had a good FPP video the other day.
Zaza says it's 200% entertainment.
200%.
Ah,
I need to step up my game. And I'm not pinning, so
Nancy says when her husband was in ICU, they would come running in because his heart would stop, but then he comes back.
mm. Well, my husband died almost one time. his asthma was really, really bad, and he almost died, and that was kind of scary. But we found out that it was all from that acid reflux,
Hmm.
and it was just filling up his lungs. And so he had one of those Nissen fundoplication, which is an esophageal wrap, and he has not had any problems since. Thank God.
Andrea says she's already picked out the block she wants to do. She has spent the last hour drawing up her pattern.
Girl, I didn't even draw up my pattern. This is what you're gonna get. Like I said, this is just a fun so
Melanie says she's on her own. Sorry, Lisa. Have a lot to work on.
y'all
Mona
are
says she'll be here for the entertainment. Pick her block and sew when I have time.
that's fine. That's fine. So again, I'm getting my iron on. Guys, I got my little house done.
So Terry says the dresses that she made are on her channel if anyone wants to see them later. Not now.
Well, you can go now if you really need to. Did you see my house? I'm going to iron my little house.
Mona says the dumb thing is not typing what she wants.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta put down that alcohol. So block one is done. Block one.
Donnell says she's here for the company and the comedy.
Ah,
Terry says sewing tip 101. Don't pick up the rotary cutter when you want to draw a line.
thanks, Mona. Thanks, you didn't do that. Don't pick the rotary. What? Wait, what?
Don't pick up the rotary cutter when you want to draw a line.
No. And do not be like Mona and hide your rotary cutter under fabric, because you might have a surprise on your life. So what I'm gonna do you see my tiny little house? My tiny little house. I am
It
actually gonna
looks tiny because of where you got it.
Well, it is going to be a very small. The quilt is not going to be the table topper is not going to be more than 48 inches, and so I want to do some things. I am also going to include some applique, so I'm going to have some white spaces in there in mine, so I can incorporate some applique in it. But it is going to have a border, and then I will probably do 4-inch hearts around it. There is not going to be any sashing or cornerstones. I'm just going to build off of that. And, you know, there's like no division. I'm not sure I like that. If I was to do it again, I think I would add a little bit more color to my house because there's no definition. I'm going to have to define it with some thread when I quilt it. I'm going to have to add like a roof line because that poor thing. And look, I lost my peak, so something's missing. Yep, the hurricane came. I lost my peak. I got one of them old southern roofs. We don't. Oh, there's no attic. That's what it is. I've got a southern thing. I don't have an attic.
Joyce says,
Oh,
isn't it a 6-inch block?
this is a 8-inch block, but remember that. Nope, it is. It came out to be. It is 8.5 unfinished, and it is 8.5. I just lost. I don't know what I did to that roof, but it's going to stay like that because I do not have, I'll just do something. I'll show it to you when I quilt it.
Zaza wants to know how big your table is.
The table I'm going to put it on is a 50-inch table. And my tables, I don't like an overlap. I want it to sit in the middle of the table. So, but it'll be fun. I'm going to do 4-inch blocks. I'm going to put a border around it to define it. And who knows, maybe use some of my pretty little stitches on my sewing machine here. And
Rona says it needs an apple.
it needs an apple. Wait. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Yo, Patty, I'm gonna add some definition. I may do some scallops or something on it when I quilt it. Because
Joe
there's so
says
many.
it needs a sewing room.
It's a sewing room. It needs Mike's house. Needs Mike's house. So yeah, this has been a mess. And I thank you for
Patty
coming.
G says add some thread painting, maybe a few shingles on it.
I think I am going to do that. I'm going to take my time on the quilting of it. I wanted to do it because I've been really practicing the micro quilting, free motion quilting. So this will be an opportunity for me to use some do some micro quilting and adding some color and some shine. Yes, it
Mike
is.
says
It
it needs an attic.
If you send me some fabric, I will make an attic for it. I will create I will add dimension to the block. But
Joyce
now,
says it's a fun mess. Mike says a small hot fun.
yeah, I don't know what to expect. This has been really fun.
A
I
small
know
hot tub.
the thing is, some people that will look at this will say, I don't know who she thinks she is, what she's up there doing, but I love hanging out with all of you, and I like learning, and I'm really trying to break out of my shell. How about a hot tub on the roof? Google, and then we'll have Google Maps drive by the Google car, taking a picture of the hot tub. Yeah,
Mona says it
we
needs
can
a
do that.
giant pole barn for your sewing room.
Oh, we can do that. But actually, I am going to incorporate some. I don't know. Maybe I just need to get some trees, hot tub. Oh, I think I had too much coffee.
Donnell says hot tub? I'm game.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Too much caffeine. Oh,
Yo, Patty says, I think I've had too much coffee. Hey, Facet is all over my bed. Geez, I'm referring to fabrics. Get your minds out of the gutter.
you want a tiny stripper pole? And we'll just call it a bird pole. Put a birdhouse on top of it. But we'll know what it's for.
Andrea has hers all picked out. Her plan.
I am not planning mine. I am just going to make the block, and then when I get to it, it's probably going to be in my mood. I mean, it could be I've had a bad day at work and I decide I'm just going to make mud holes. So,
I lost it already.
huh?
I lost where she said it. Here it
Oh,
is. She says hers will be a 4x5 12-inch blocks with sashing in patriotic fabric.
that's good. Well, you're giving your block away. You're giving your quilts away. You're giving it to somebody of it. And so you want to have, you want it a little bit more planned. But I'm telling you, everything about my life, my work life is planned. Everything is situated. Even when I do a quilt that I'm following a pattern for, that's planned. Somebody's telling me what to do. I don't want to follow rules. I just really want to do what I want. And if it doesn't come out right, it's okay with me, and that's what quilting is all about. It should be fun, it should be relaxing, and you should enjoy it. And this quilt, I just want it to enjoy, and I want it to share with you. The book is excellent, and I've been looking for an opportunity to use the book and try some new things. I don't know what's going to happen when I get to some of these stars. Y'all are just going to be crying. I'm going to be crying trying to, but I might have to pre-cut some of this. Is Melanie going? Bye,
Melanie
Melanie.
is.
Good night, Melanie. When I get to some of these things, I'm going to be crying, and you're going to. Monica's just going to say, "Just give it up. Go buy a quilt and call it good." So, but and like I said, I don't know what happened. Did you see this thing I made? It got a roof on it, but I don't, it's got the point to it. But
It's got a part of a roof.
it was an inch too short. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. So I actually may have things next since I know I'm going to make a heart. And if y'all have your books, because there is a heart in here, and I'm just going to ask your opinion on this. Where is the heart block?
I saw it in there.
It is block 43, so it's just a couple pages back. And I've made this heart block. I put it in another quilt that I made, and
Yeah.
I do small heart blocks. But why would you make a heart that difficult?
I wondered the same thing. I'm like, we made it so much simpler than this.
Yeah, I why would you make a good night, Zaza? Dream of me, good night.
Good night, Zaza.
So I am torn because I want to do hearts, but I do not know why you would do it in all these sections. Because essentially they have you making, I mean, it's sections. But
Yeah.
when I make a heart, I just do. So if I was making a 10-inch heart, I would just cut my main fabric 5.5 inches. Yeah, I would cut it 5.5. I would cut it 5.5, and then I would just do flipping stitches and then sew it together. So, but this one, they have you cutting it in segments, and I don't understand that. Somebody tell me. I'm frozen? Am I frozen?
Not right
Did
now.
Oh, was I frozen? Sorry. Could have been my internet. There, somebody's telling me I think I'm gonna do my own hearts. So and I can tell you this, my heart is going to be 4.5 inches unfinished. And because it's not in this book, I can give you the measurements. But I'm just gonna do two and a half by 4.5 rectangles on my main fabric, and probably 1 inch. I have to figure it out. I think 1 inch flipping stitches on 1 inch and a 2.5 inch on the bottom. And I'll get that star. Some of it, wait, not now. What? What? Good night, Joyce.
She says you're not frozen now.
He's going off the menu, kids. So I don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. Um, but anyway, it is late. I thank you. It will be more structured. I don't promise, but it will be more structured next Monday. Deb, thank you for coming up here and catching the comments. I don't think anybody except for Andrea really intended to sew. Um, poor Jessica, she was probably, "What is this hot mess going on here?" It is just learning the book, but I'll try to be a little bit more structured for you all and give you better cutting instructions. I do tend to do tutorials, maybe. I'm really waiting. I'm hoping that they give me permission to share the cutting instructions because that would make it so much easier when you're sewing with me. But does anybody have anything to say? Donnell, thank you for, yeah, sewing and quilting is fun. Structure is work. And I really just want something very unstructured. I want something very very different from what I normally do, which is 10-inch blocks, 12-inch blocks, stick them all together and make a quilt. I just wanted something a little bit different, something fun. And if you guys wanted to come along for the ride and do the same thing, because it is fun, sewing is fun. Um, Judy, what did you finish? Did you finish the
She
whole
was
quilt?
long arming. She was long arming.
Oh, okay. You finished long arming? Yes. Well, I am hey, Katie, I am always happy to entertain you. I am a little crazy. Once you get to know me, I do have a crazy side, and I may talk a little bit too much once I get to know you. Other than that, I appreciate you all. I appreciate Deb. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Leave a comment and tell me what you want to see. Again, if you want to be a part of the Discord channel, if you want to be part of the Discord channel, email me and I will send you the link. Will not send it to you tonight, but I will send it to you tomorrow. Thanks, Joe, for hanging out. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to end it before I start talking for another hour because I am now tired. But I will talk to you all later. Good night. Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye. Bye. Night.
See ya.
If I can turn it off, it's not even letting me turn it off. Bye. Good night.